Hey friend, I just wanted to come on today to share with you the Q&A for my most recent publication, which was Liar, Liar, You Are Hired. And I'm so excited about this series. It's a mini series, it's serials. And I'll kind of go into a little more description about serials too, and kind of what they are, like what they are and everything as well. But I just wanted to hop in first off and just share with you my book description. And I know quite a few weeks ago I did share my book description, but it's changed and been made better. So, super exciting. So, here's the book description. I'll read it to you. So, an idyllic North Dakota inn, a fake fiance, and an inheritance. My great auntie's family has this weird rule they've been sticking to for over 100 years. You must be engaged by your 25th birthday in order to inherit the inn. But there's a snag. I'm recently single. There's nothing I want more in the world than to inherit my great auntie's North Dakota inn when she retires. After going through my life plan, I realize I'm not sticking to my strategy for the first time in my life. I must do something painfully spontaneous and unexpected, which is a no-no for me. I must find a fake fiance and fast. Liar, Liar, You Are Hired is the first episode in a 5-part rom-com serial. If you enjoy stories with determined heroines aiming to reach their goals, a fake fiance at a relaxing inn, then you'll love this first episode by Devin Yobert. So that's the book description for episode 1, and I'm really excited. Episode 2 is now up on Amazon for pre-order, so you can definitely go check that out. The cover is so cool. Like, oh my gosh, let me just share the cover with you here. This is my second episode cover, which is super exciting. It's definitely got some of the Halloween-y vibes with the pumpkins in the back, and in the front there they are pinky swearing, so it's kind of cute. I really like how we were able to stick with like the hands and everything, focusing on the hands in these pictures. In Liar, Liar, You Are Hired, she is crossing her fingers, so implying she's lying. So super exciting. But anyways, got some questions and answers. So I'm just gonna ask these questions and then I will go over the answers. How long did it take to write from start to finish? Okay, so for this episode, I would probably have to say it took about probably half a month to write it. And then to edit it, that took quite a bit longer. That took about like a month and a half. And by editing, I mean like full edits, like the plot edit, then sending it to my betas, also sending it to my editor, then going over that, and then sending it to my editor again, and a couple of critique partners, and then from there making last changes again, and then sending it to my editor again. So it's been through a bunch of editing process stuff. It's just crazy. But anyway, so start to finish, the first episode probably took me about probably about 2 months, probably. So yeah, it probably took me about 2 months. Yeah. Okay, number 2, what is a serial? Oh, this is just a fun question. So I had been wanting to do something fun with this book because it's actually like it'll be a full-length novel. All the serials together, the episodes, it'll be a full-length novel. And I'm excited to share with you guys the title and the cover for that, but that's coming up in the future soon, shortly. But so a serial, you can kind of think of serials like TV episodes, but then in book format. So each episode is going to be like an episodic fiction piece, and then you'll get the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and to find out what happens. So it's kind of a fun way to look at fiction, I think. So what tropes can we expect to see in Liar, Liar, You Are Hired? Well, that's a good question. So tropes, there's a fake fiance, of course, and that was actually fun to write. So fake fiance, Then let's see what else. I would also say probably like small town romance type rom-com. Small town. That is a trope as well. Um, and an inheritance, that's also kind of a trope as well. So for this episode, that's kind of that. And then just thinking if there's any other ones in this episode. Of course, throughout all the episodes, the fake fiance trope is going to be really big. And then in the next 2 episodes, it's going to be a love triangle trope. So I'm kind of excited about that one because personally, I've never really loved the love triangle, but now I said I'd never write one, but what am I doing? I'm writing one. So now I have to figure out why love triangles work and why they don't. So if you're interested in following along with my love triangle research, it's called Romancing the Trope. I will have a link in the description below this video kind of about that as well. And if you want to join along on my research for that, you can follow me on Patreon. Make sure that you join under the A Story Life Love reward tier so that you can get access to all of the great Romancing the Trope stuff. So that'll be fun. And with that, I will be actually doing research by actually watching movies that have love triangles in them, and I'm going to be breaking them apart on why it works or why it doesn't work, and like how that can be implemented in your own work as well. So it's going to be fun. So actually I'm just starting to launch that stuff on Patreon. So if you're interested in checking it out, go to this link and it'll also be in the description below. Super fun. Okay, and now what else here? What other questions? Any content warnings or trigger warnings? Yeah, so for the first episode, there's I would say content warning, trigger warning would be maybe a little bit of grief. Grief with a loss, possibly. I can't give much more information because I don't want to spoil anything. So that, and then there's also elements of like mentioning like foster care and being in foster care. So one of my characters was in foster care. So I'd say those are my only 2 little content warnings, possibly. Loss and mentioning foster care. So yeah, those are my only 2 thoughts. So otherwise it's really honestly an uplifting book. And one thing why I have the loss in there, because like with rom-com you think it's just all happiness and like fun and funniness and humor and love and everything, but in real life, and I think that's something that I really like about the rom-com books that I like, is it's realistic fiction in the sense that your main character is going through a lot. Like, your main character is going through their life, and in life it's not easy. So in life there's happiness and sadness. So yeah, so that's why I decided to have some loss elements in there as well. So you'll find them when you read them. But I really did enjoy writing this episode and this whole serial series book. Let's see here. Next question is, where'd the story idea come from? Funny story. So back in 2019, I actually sat down and can't believe it was so long ago. Sat down and gave myself a challenge, because I am a challenge girl. I love to challenge myself like crazy. I love to set up challenges and be like, okay, I'm going to do this yesterday. And it's not possible always. But so I set up this challenge for myself that I would write a book in a month and publish it and see. And I kind of set up a goal of a deadline to have it done by and everything. And I wrote it as a novella. And so a novella is a shorter novel. It's not a short story. It's like a shorter novel, if I could say it that way. But let's see here. In a novella. So a novella is about 40,000 words. So it's a little shorter than a novel. We'll just put it that way. Okay, but anyway, so I kind of sat down and think, okay, I want to finish this novella and get it done. And I was really excited about it, and I did it. I actually wrote it, and I actually thought, okay, I want to do something around like a rom-com, like trope of fake fiance, and I want to do it here in North Dakota because that's where I live, and so I kind of like just moved with that, and didn't really know what I was gonna write, and then all of a sudden this character Addison just came on the page, and she was like so feisty and interesting that it's just expanded. And I'm looking over here at my like schedule for like my publishing schedule. I've now created a whole world around this book, and there's this fictional town inside the book called Story Brand, and so there's going to be other books coming out about characters in this town, and they're all rom-com stories, so they'll be super fun. I mean, it just kind of makes me have like the vibes of like in Gilmore Girls there's Stars Hollow, or in Heart of Dixie there's Bluebell, where it's like these unique little towns that have a personality of their own and everything. So that's kind of what Story Brand is going to be like. And I'm really excited for you to see into this little world that I've created. So that's kind of where my story idea started, and it kind of came out of nowhere and hit me, blindsided me. But I'm so excited that it did, because it's been fun. Let's see here. What was your favorite scene to write? Oh, man. I really did enjoy the scene that I wrote. There's a scene where she is talking to her roommate at the beginning, and her roommate's really funny. So I just love that scene. And then there's another scene where she's on the airplane, and I just found myself laughing quite a lot when I was writing that scene chapter. And she was getting annoyed with like the flight attendant, and always being told by her next door seat neighbor or whatever to turn off her phone, and the annoyances of flying and stuff. So anyways, it kind of fit all that in there, but it was a fun scene to write too. And then there's another scene that I didn't see coming, but when it came, it surprised me. So I can't tell you anymore, otherwise I'd spoil it. Okay, the next question would be, how do you stay inspired to get the work done so you can publish so quickly? Well, I'm looking at this as my career. I want to be a full-time career author, and I'm not there completely just yet. I've really been enjoying what I've been doing, and I'm excited to be writing full-time at home. But I need to get more books out. And so I figured by doing the serials like this, it would be a helpful way to get the book out and also introduce you guys slowly, but funly, in a fun way, to Story Brand and the characters in them. So yeah, those are my answers to the questions. I hope that you found that helpful, and I am so pumped about this. It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much happening. But so this book, it's being released via serials, and then next year in 2022, it's going to be released as a hardcover book before Christmas. So I'm really pumped about that, because it's just going to be so much fun. So that is one exciting thing I'm pumped about. And then I'm planning to do a release in February in 2022 as well. And that one will be more of a Valentine's-y, baking, cutesy, enemies to lovers romance, rom-com story. So that'll be fun. But if you like the British baking show, the Great British Baking Show, and kind of the rom-com-y, enemies to lovers type story, you're going to enjoy it. I mean, I like to say that it's like Romeo and Juliet, but with the Great British Baking Show, and no one dies. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, So those are my answers to the questions, and I hope that you are interested in finding out more about these cereals that I'm doing. And I will be sharing in the description below the link for Liar Liar You Are Hired. So you'll be able to hop over to Amazon if you want to get that. And then I also have the pre-order listed below as well, just in case you're interested. But I am so excited, you guys. This will be a lot of fun. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.